games like last weekend where your players talk about, execution wasn't there, or we just weren't dialed in. Do you ever get a sense of that during the week? Do you get a sense of it in walkthroughs before the game? Is it in the locker room, or is it one of those things that just happens and that's the only way that you know?
No, I think there's always going to be a little bit of uncertainty when you're dealing with 18 to 21-year-olds. That's going to be the given, and that's why the gray hair and all those things, the weight gain, all that. But I think as you go along, you do get to know your team and how it's going to respond. I think at times I use the phrase or the analogy, whatever the right way to say this, is that our guys were like hunting dogs last year. In other words, when it was time to go, we knew what to expect. We're not there yet, but we're getting. I'm getting a better feel for our football team each and every week. I'd like to be there right now. The problem we have is that our first 4 weeks don't allow us time to really grow up. You got to be who you are right out of the gates. I'm getting a better sense and feel for that.
Brian, Michigan State's offensive line has given up 3 sacks in 3 games. What do you think is key to putting pressure on Connor Cook?
Well, I think a couple of things. First of all, we've got to get him in some predictable down and distance situations, to throw the football. They've been able to manage down and distance very well. I think if we can get him into some predictable passing situations where we can, force down, to throw the football, and we know it, that's going to help us because they've got some balance now where, they can run the football with the quarterback in some longer yardage situations and put you in at risk if you're firing upfield and they're running the quarterback. They've been able to balance that out pretty good. So we got to get them some predictable situations and we got to win some one-on-one matchups. Some that we haven't won so far that we need to win this weekend.
Just going back to Michigan State's quarterback with Cook earning that starting job finally, is it a fair assessment to actually be able to watch him against Youngstown State? How much can you actually learn about him when that's the team that he's playing against?
No, I think we've got enough of a body of work in the other couple of games that he played in that we can tell what his strengths are. He's a big, strong kid. He's got a live arm, and we know what they want to do with him. Look, as much as we've talked about Connor Cook running they're not going to. This game plan is not about Connor Cook winning the game running the football. This is about their defense, and this is about them controlling the football and making some big plays. Now, Connor Cook will do what he does within that system, but this is still about Michigan State football, and that is playing great defense, running the football, and the quarterback managing the game. Now, they've added him as a dimension of running it, but I think we've got a pretty good sense of what he'll do.